Babes in Spyland. The Truth Hurts. Epilogue. Do all cases end up with this many loose ends? Agent Sugarlips asked as she filled out the paperwork for what they were now calling the episode of The Flying Nun on her phone. Agent Milkshakes, who sat on the other side of the table, shrugged. It depends. Agent Sugarlips frowned. Would it kill you to give me a straight answer? Her partner grinned. It might. The waitress appeared with their food, and Sugarlips put her phone face down on the faded wood tabletop. The plate the woman put in front of Sugarlips looked as if it could feed a family of 5. The chicken fried steak was, no joke, as big as her head, and drowning in country gravy. A literal mound of mashed potatoes teetered on the edge of the plate, and somewhere underneath were the green beans she'd ordered. Agent Milkshakes grinned and nodded. You're going to love this. Agent Sugarlips wasn't going to fit into any of the clothes she had brought if she ate even half of what was in front of her. There was no way to deny the fact that the smell of pepper, garlic, and fried breading would have had a cartoon character floating in from another room. But the sheer enormity of it was daunting. Maybe she could take some of it back to the hotel in a to-go box. She'd spied a small refrigerator underneath the television when they dropped their stuff off. That would work. She could eat some of it now, and then some of it tomorrow. As if he'd heard her thoughts, a waiter, who had been hiding behind his counterpart, gently pushed aside the main plates to make room for the pieces of chocolate Texas sheet cake that they'd ordered. Do you need anything else? The waitress asked. Milkshakes shook her head. I don't think so. Great, holler if you do. With that, the perky teenager turned around and bounced away to check on another table. Milkshakes pulled her 6-inch square piece of sheet cake toward her and took a chunk out of it with the corner of her fork. She closed her eyes and moaned in satisfaction as she chewed. I've missed this. Agent Sugarlips couldn't do anything but stare in horror at the amount of food in front of her. First time in Texas? Milkshakes asked. No. She'd been here before, but with her dad on business trips. They dined at 7-star restaurants that had portions the size of a silver dollar, not a football. Dig in, Milkshakes said. I don't even know where to start. Milkshakes laughed. I know it looks like a lot of calories, but trust me, the big hat party is no joke. You'll easily take 50,000 steps tomorrow, and you'll get in plenty more cardio ducking old men in huge cowboy hats that want you to make them feel like they're 30 again. Sounds more like punishment than an assignment. Is Mud mad that the Flying Nun got away? Sugarlips asked. Nah, Milkshakes waved her fork around. Mud is neck deep in trying to figure out what's going on. She'll be distracted for at least another week. What is going on? Agent Sugarlips carefully carved out a manageable bite of the chicken fried steak and ate it. Her eyes went wide, and as she chewed, she looked up at her partner. I told you, best food in the city. Milkshakes sipped her nurse pepper and shrugged. As for what's going on, I don't think anyone knows. She gestured at Sugarlips' phone. How far are you into the report? I'm almost finished reviewing it. Did we ever figure out why Rob Harker collapsed after the awards? Ah, Milkshakes said through a mouthful of potatoes. She held up a finger and didn't answer until she'd swallowed. Toxicology showed that he had been drinking. Apparently that, along with one of the scents, put him into a stupor. That seemed strange. Rob had been trying to get some of the other guests to turn on one another in front of a national audience, which had totally worked, but Sugarlips would have bet that he wanted to be sober for it. Agent Sugarlips glared at the chicken fried steak, then decided to follow her partner's example and try the sheet cake. A single bite and she could have died and gone to heaven right then and been happy. Milkshakes kept talking. We connected him to the Turks, thanks to you, and he admitted to offering them Sci-Fi's truth scent in return for their help infiltrating the awards ceremony and the parties afterward. Mud still has teams hunting them down. After a few exploratory stabs into the gravy, Agent Sugarlips found a green bean and extracted it. She supposed she should get some fiber in before the big hat party started in the morning. What I don't get is how the Greenlanders were involved. Agent Milkshakes started carving up her chicken fried steak. The boys haven't figured it out? Agent Sugarlips asked. Nope. Milkshakes eyed Sugarlips. But you already know that. Sugarlips adopted her most innocent expression. I do. Milkshakes snorted. Everyone knows you and Agent Bigfoot went on a date last week. They'd been on 3 dates, but no one needed to know that. So, is there a policy against dating other agents? Sugarlips asked. There's not, but most people avoid it. Sugarlips figured since Milkshakes had started it, she could finish it. Is that why you and Black Turtle haven't gotten together? To her satisfaction, Agent Milkshakes almost choked on her bite of potatoes, and had to cough a few times before she could reply. I don't know what you're talking about. Whatever you say. Sugarlips thought her partner was protesting too much. A phone buzzed. Sugarlips checked hers and found a message from Agent Amphibian Queen to their group. Amphibian Queen. Mud is sending us to do security for a friend's garden party in California. Sugarlips didn't know Amphibian Queen that well yet, so she asked Milkshakes, is she excited? Also, does Mud have friends? Yes. Amphibian Queen loves parties, Milkshakes typed a reply, and Mud knows everyone. Milkshakes. Have fun, and good luck with Bunny Nose. Sugarlips raised an eyebrow. Bunny Nose hates assignments like this. She's allergic to posh people, stylish clothes, and wide-open spaces like gardens. Their phones buzzed again. Bunny Nose. Good luck at the big hat party. Milkshakes winced. She's got us there. Are you sure this isn't punishment? Sugarlips asked. It might be, Milkshakes shrugged. But it's good for you to get to know some of these guys, and how these crazy events work. The more people you can call for information, the better. Milkshakes gave Sugarlips the once-over with her eyes. And considering you care about your appearance, you'll draw in a whole different crowd than I do. Sugarlips smiled. It's what I do. Milkshakes snorted. Yes, it is. Agent Sugarlips had somewhat settled into her role at the super-secret agency, and she was looking forward to whatever came next, even if it was old men in big hats winking at her and offering to buy her drinks. Her first assignment had involved a missing mad scientist, interrogation scents, and a mysterious flying nun. The gut feelings she'd learned not to ignore told her that they hadn't seen the end of Lady Cluck, and Sugarlips was certain that the woman wasn't working on her own. The mysteries never ended, but that's why she'd signed up, so she could find these maniacs before they struck the public. The SSA gave her that opportunity, and she was all in.